Welcome back to another edition of Talk Funny. I'm Mark Bailey. Mike Miller's here again.
Hi.
We were talking in a previous episode about the late, great, back again, Gary Firth, one of our former colleagues. And
should we say he was born again? Perhaps that's the perfect...
He's the unfunny boy who cried wolf, is what he is. And the sad part is he was quite old. He's in his 60s.
Yeah.
And when he does pass, nobody's going to believe it.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to be, well, yeah, again?
I'm like, Mike, I know you think I'm doing a bit, but Gary's gone. He's really gone this time. Yeah, really? Sure he is. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That April Cash is coming as well? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Where's the funeral? Where's the funeral at the corner of pulling my leg and go F yourself? Yeah, that's where it's going to be. How'd you know that? Yeah. No, I'm serious. It's at the place in Imike. It's tomorrow at 7. Can you come? Oh, yeah, I'll be there. Oh, yeah, it's in Imike, right? Yeah, that's the story. Oh, sure. Yeah, that's the story. Yeah, it is. Yeah, all right, I'll see you there. No, I'm serious because his sister is going to be there and his brother is going to be there. Yeah, sure they will. Of course they will. I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, I will. It's not April 1st.
Yeah.
Well, imagine if he died on April 1st.
Oh, yeah, that would be perfect. That would be perfect.
He probably should die on April 1st. We could probably arrange that. We got time.
Well, you got friends, right?
I got friends, you know what I mean? Sammy the Bull thinks I'm funny now. So I wanted to mention, I don't know if you've ever heard we told the story, Sammy the Bull, short version.
His podcast, right?
Yeah. He heckled me at a New York club. I contacted him. He's reformed now. And you know what a reformed mobster is? They don't kill people anymore. They just extort. Yeah. And it's because he's a podcaster and a YouTuber. That's extortion,
yeah.
If you ask me. Like and subscribe. If you don't, I'll break your legs. But actually, his stories are really good. I don't know if you've watched them on YouTube.
I haven't really seen his podcast, no.
He tells how they killed John Gotti and stuff. And then
how can he get away with that? There's no statute of limitations on murder, is there?
He made a plea deal, and, well, according to him, he was in the car, Mike. He didn't do it.
Yeah, he didn't do it.
There was a gunman who was a really good-looking gunman, and he was a really good shot.
That guy looked great.
But it wasn't me.
It wasn't me. I wish I looked like that guy.
He was in the car, Mike.
Your his name who recently died, the guy from Goodfellas. What was his Ray Liotta's character there? You met him, you told me.
Henry Hill, yeah.
Henry Hill also passed away recently.
He was a good friend of mine. Yeah. He would come on radio in Japan. You know, my bosses didn't get it, but he'd say, when you listen to Bailey in the morning, it's one hit after another. I still got that. Maybe we'll put it on sometime if I can find that jingle. And people are going like, who is that? I'm like, Henry Hill. It's like,
who's Henry Hill?
What's his favorite song? Well, it's funny you mention that because he did sing. Because he was an FBI witness.
He's a great singer.
Hey, he sang like a canary.
He sang like a canary.
What's his songs? He had no songs. He just sang like a canary. Sammy the Bull Gravano, he's doing all these gruesome stories.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, and then I hit the guy with the axe. It was my favorite axe, and I couldn't get it out of the guy's rib cage.
God.
Sirens are coming, but I can't get my favorite axe. Plus, I got fingerprints on there. That's another problem. Yeah, that's the biggest problem.
Geez.
Your fingerprints. I got my fingerprints on there. And he goes, so what I had to do is I had to jump and crack the whole rib cage to get my axe out.
Oh.
I'm thinking, oh, geez. Why is this guy out of prison, you know?
I mean, why did he use his favorite axe? That's what I'm asking.
What are you, an
idiot? A generic one.
What are you, stupid?
Save that for a special occasion, you know?
Stonuts. What are you, broccoli? Eat your broccoli. And then he'll realize what he's saying, and he'll go, hey, the mafia isn't perfect. Miss Miller, we're sorry. We accidentally whacked your son. We're the mafia, but hey, we're not perfect.
Hey, we don't always get the right guy.
You know, that's what they say.
You have a bad day. Everybody has a bad day.
That's what they say about the mafia. They're not perfect. He goes, hey, nobody's perfect. The mafia's not perfect, you know? Well, yeah, we killed a few people. You got to break some eggs.
You got to break some eggs to make an omelet.
To make the ragu.
Just don't ask what's in the ragu, that's all. But did you hear the funniest one was the guy the funniest one that I heard of was the guy who was in Brooklyn, I think, or something, and he opened the door and there was a guy there, and the guy shot and killed this mob boss. I forget the mob boss's name, but the guy killed him because the guy who the killer was into the QAnon conspiracy, and he believed that this guy, the gangster, was in on the conspiracy. So some random dude shows up and kills him, and it's not a mob hit. Like, what the odds of that happening?
But the guy that died is a mobster?
The guy who died was a mobster. They got into some altercation, and the guy thought he was in the conspiracy. The killer thought the mobster was in on the conspiracy, and
it's like Rosanna Dana from Saturday Night Live.
That's karma.
If it's not the Gotti family, it's some deranged QAnon guy. If it's not that, it's a bus. But the mafia's not perfect. What do you want from me?
We're not perfect.
And he'll be doing this. He'll be saying, that's his catchphrase. And he's not being ironic. The mafia's not perfect. Hey,
I'm not a perfect teacher, but I haven't killed any of my students yet.
Listen, I know the black vans bother us, but they're not perfect, Mike.
They're not perfect, no.
Some of the black vans some of them are dirty. The black vans are dirty. Sometimes the head and the microphone they use hasn't been changed since 1938. It hasn't been changed.
It's funny that. What's going on in 1938?
They haven't changed their playlist. We've talked about that.
Yeah.
Their playlist is like 110 years
Greatest
old, but
hits of 1938, basically. Yeah. I actually haven't heard them lately. Have you heard them? I haven't heard them in a long time. But then I was away for a month.
Only on national holidays.
Yeah.
Generally, you definitely, and some weekends. Only every other day.
National Foundation Day is one of their big days.
Only on Thursdays. Only on
Thursdays. Yeah.
And so
they rotate the neighborhoods.
Yeah. I had a story, actually, a John Gotti story. When I was staying in New York, I was a speechwriter. I was also in radio. They put me up at a radio convention in the Barbizon Hotel. It was on 52nd Street, I believe. It's called something else now. And that's where their guys hung out.
Oh.
They all had suites there. And so they invited a guy to come ride with them that they were going to whack. And his name was Mark. So they asked the guys, like, you got a guy, Mark, something, starts with a B or something? Yeah, he's in 812. Why you want to know? All right, thank you. Here's your money. They knocked on my door. These mobsters.
Holy shit.
They're like, hey, you're Mark, right? I'm like, yeah. Who are you? Hey, we're going to go for a ride. But I was expecting a limo. The limo was going to take me to the convention.
Oh, Jesus.
And I said, what limo business are you with? And he goes, it starts with a G. Hey. I'm like, but you guys are fast. You guys are really fast. I called you 40 seconds ago. Were you in the area? Yeah, we were in the area. I said, no, seriously, I called it 40 seconds ago. I think you got the wrong guy. He's like, no, we're going to go take a ride. I'm like, no, I'm going to the convention center. Yeah, we'll take you to the convention center. Really? Well, how much does it cost? You don't worry about that. What you owe us, a limo fee is nothing. Lucky they don't charge you for the bullets. So I said, hang on, and then the limo company called my hotel room while they're there. And they're standing at the door, and it's just like out of the movies. They got their suits on, and like, hey, be cool. There's people walking back and forth, so they're not going to whack me there. And I pick it up, and they go, yeah, it's the limo company. And I'm like, yeah, I'm talking to them right now. Why did you send two guys? And he goes, what? I said, there's two guys here, and I described them. And he goes, call the front desk. They got the wrong guy because we're sending a guy up.
Right.
But we don't want to get involved. He goes, I don't know who those guys are. So I called the front desk, and I said, somebody been looking for me? And he goes, yeah, the two guys, I sent them up. And I said, I'm expecting a limo company. I'm not expecting those guys. So I told the guys, and I said, look, I got a limo guy coming up, and that's who I thought you guys were. So we never met, okay? I'm just going to close the door, and everything's fine. And he goes, hang on. And one of the stooges runs up. You got the Tsukomi? No, that's Manzai. You got the Tsukomi?
The bouquet.
And the bouquet. So the bouquet goes, hang on. And he runs up a couple of floors and knocks on. John Gotti's in the hotel.
Wow.
Knocks on the door. He comes back down. He goes, it's not Mark. It's Michael. And I just checked. He's on 4th floor. And I'm like, my fingers in my ears. I don't know.
Oh, my God.
I didn't hear anything.
Oh, and to know that. Just to know that. I don't want to hear that even.
So I packed my bags.
God.
When the limo came, I packed my bags and I checked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got in the limo and I stayed actually at the World Trade Center.
Oh, jeez.
When it was there.
How could you go wrong in the
So
World
I
Trade
have
Center?
good luck picking hotels, I think is my point.
My God, how did you find out the backstory of that? Did someone who worked there said, yeah, this is where John Gotti used to stay? Or how did you hear? Because that's like...
I asked the guy at the front.
Oh, and
I
he
said,
told you.
What are you giving my name out for
Yeah.
people? Why somebody just walks in, you should call me. He
Yeah.
goes, yeah, but these guys pay me to do that. And I said, which
And he
guys?
just admitted it. Oh, yeah,
And
I
he
get
goes,
paid.
He goes, well, this guy named John lives here. He's a very important guy. So I
He's
kind
a
of
very
worked
important Gotti?
Yeah, kind of. Everybody needs some Gotti
But
sometime.
hey, what's the motto? The mafia's not
Not
perfect.
perfect. We knocked on the wrong door. Everybody needs some Gotti sometime.
That's a seriously... Your face must have just gone white, because seriously, like... What if the guy's like, yeah, sorry, I don't care.
It was
You're
like
coming
out of
with
a
me.
movie. So you got the wrong guy.
Like, what if he was more persistent? You could have been dead.
You got the wrong guy. Everybody says that.
Yeah,
Everybody says,
everybody
you got the
says
wrong-
that. Yeah.
I mean, I don't owe you any money. Everybody says
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
So no, I'm serious.
Yeah.
I'm expecting. I didn't call you guys. No, you don't call us. We call you. Like, no, but I just called somebody, and I was expecting.
So
that's why I opened
basically, the
door.
limo company saved your life.
Yeah.
That whoever that was for the limo company who
Yeah.
called saved
Yeah.
your life.
It's a Ukrainian guy.
Wow.
It's all
Connection
these
there. It's
connections.
karma. It's what you say, Jewish karma, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Ukraine has a Jewish president right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was like something like a bad movie. It was like a nightmare. It's like, no, this is how I leave? This
Yeah.
is how I die? Two idiots without a college education, they knock on the wrong door. And apparently that happens a lot.
Sounds like the end of a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Well, Sammy Gravano talked about it a lot. It happens a lot.
Really?
And I think, who was it? Richard Pryor.
Yeah, Richard Pryor. I was going to say that when you were telling those stories earlier. It sounds like Richard Pryor's.
He worked for the Chicago mob.
Right, and he would talk about they'd be having fun and telling stories and, hey, that was really funny.
Yeah.
Hey, Richie. And he'd be like,
And he's got a bit. And it's like,
yeah.
he's got a bit. It's like, yeah, Merry Christmas. It reminds me,
Remember when we were chopping up
we
that
shot the
movie?
wrong
Yeah,
guy.
we shot that
We
guy.
shot that guy. He bled a lot.
Remember that? He bled all over your car. Ah,
That's the way Richard Pryor does his.
Yeah.
We shot the wrong guy. He's dead. You're an idiot. You shot the wrong guy. It's the second time you did that. But hey, the
Richie,
mafia is not perfect.
Sunset Strip, right? I think that was
Yeah.
Richard Pryor on the Sunset Strip.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to check it out,
And he
great comedy.
I forgot what he did. He worked at a club or something where the mob guys are hanging out.
Yeah, he worked with he worked at a club, I think it was, and that he was their waiter, and so that was
And they're like,
So they were telling the stories.
You're a funny guy, yeah. What do you mean funny? What do you mean funny? That's before that.
Yeah,
Goodfellas.
yeah.
You're a funny guy. You want a gun?
Yeah.
No, I don't want a gun.
Yeah.
Here's a gun. I don't want a gun. Just carry one. It's okay. Just hide it. Hide it.
There's another R.I.P. That's what I was thinking. Henry Hill. I think Henry Hill died a while ago. It was
Ray
Ray
Liotta.
Liotta died.
Ray
Ray
Liotta.
Liotta died.
Yeah.
Yeah. So R.I.P. to Ray Liotta. Great actor. Did you see him? He was on a talk show. I forget what talk show it was.
I've probably seen all
He's
of
like,
those.
what's the worst series you've ever been on? They're doing some kind of truth or dare game like that they do, and you have to drink or you have to do something stupid to avoid
Hot
telling
Wings
the
or
truth.
something, maybe?
Wasn't that? It was like Jimmy Kimmel. It was some game, and he's like, what's the worst movie you've ever starred in? And he's like, I don't care. It was this movie, like or whatever. And he just didn't care.
But it wasn't Goodfellas.
No, it wasn't Goodfellas.
That made him.
Yeah, that's what made him for sure.
He's a made guy now.
Yeah.
He's made.
Yeah, he's made.
I mean, I had that voice in my head. This all happened before Goodfellas, but this was the time that Goodfellas stories were happening in New York.
Right.
The guy Billy Batts, the guy that they whacked, was a former associate of John Gotti's crime family.
Okay.
So those guys all kind of worked together. They weren't enemies. They all kind of worked together.
Yeah.
But if you
they
win
had territories, right? So
Yeah.
they try to keep their territories.
so you're selling drugs in the wrong area,
Then you're in trouble.
you'll
yeah.
see a guy walk out and go, "Yeah, you're in the wrong place."
Yeah,
all
go
right,
away,
and then you go. But if you whack that guy that says you're in the wrong place,
Yeah,
now
then
your
it's a
two
war.
families have a problem.
Yeah.
Now it's a war.
Yeah.
But the mafia's not perfect.
You go to the mattresses.
We go to mattresses. I'm going to hit you with my pillow.
The mafia's not perfect.
All right. Mark Bailey, Mike Miller, and Talk Funny.